Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen, from wherever you are. I hope you are enjoying your day or night depending on where you reside. Maybe you could let us know where you are watching this video from. I'm okay from my side. William Samoei Ruto, the president of Kenya, today met the women leadership at Safari Park Hotel. In that meeting, Ruto made a speech that has not gone well with Rigathi Gachagua, and it is going to elicit a very sharp debate. I want us to read what William Ruto reported on his X handle. Then we will go to his speech, and you will agree with me that Rigathi Gachagua is now a disturbed man after that speech. William Ruto says, "Women are the cornerstone of our country's politics. They are drivers of change and agents of democratic governance. Yet, their active participation in our politics is limited, restricted, and always dotted with obstacles. We commit to change this." At Safari Park, Nairobi County launched the strategy of the G7, a caucus that brings together the 7 women governors in Kenya. That is where William Ruto was, and people like Gladys Wanga, Mbarire, and Waiguru, because I think in 2022, the number of women governors increased a bit, and I must say that it is a good thing that the male chauvinism kind of attitude is now changing. You know, we were all born of mothers, and I like the fact that women are now going for it, and they struggle by themselves, and they get this, and they are doing a good job. Even the council, the chair of the council of governors is a lady, Madam Anne Waiguru, and in Homa Bay, Gladys Wanga is doing a fairly good job, and we must congratulate our ladies on the good job. But now the speech that I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Kindly listen to William's declaration.
Cecily Mbarire is the chair of UDA, not by default. It is deliberate and it is intentional. And one of the assignments she has is that we must, as a party, lead from the front, and we must make it in the rules, Madam Cecily Mbarire, that when Rigiji and myself tukifika hapo mbele na tumepangana, tumekubaliana vile itaenda, we must also agree that going forward, if a man is a candidate for president in our party, the woman must be the runner. And if a woman is the candidate, then a man can be a running mate. Okay? And we must also cascade it down to the governors. So, and we must be intentional and deliberate about it, otherwise it will never happen. And I know fellow party leaders in other parties will agree with us, because we all agree, because I'm sure the party leader in Wiper supported Wavinya, the party leader in ODM supported Gladys, and all the other party leaders supported their women candidates. So we will do this not because we want to do anything against men, but we want to balance so that we all move.
You know, that speech was made very deliberately. And after that speech, you know, someone went on Twitter and was answering William Ruto. This man called Amwoga Halwale was saying, just talk for the sake of talk. To him, he feels William Ruto is just doing his gimmicks and politics as usual. And the other one, who is called the government critic, is saying, "You've gone lie to women again. It's in the same women forum you lied that you will give them free diapers and sanitary pads in your first 100 days. Shame on you." This is someone who is looking at William Ruto's past speeches and promises and declarations, and he has concluded that indeed William Ruto is a liar. He lied to women. But then, ladies and gentlemen, for William Ruto to declare that moving forward they want to look into ways of making a running mate become a feminine gender, this is something that must worry Rigathi Gachagua, because William Ruto is a schemer and he is scheming against Rigathi Gachagua. I want us to look at why this speech must worry Rigathi Gachagua, because if he's not very careful, Ruto is on his way, edging him out come 2027, and he will have no one to speak for him. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you whenever we release a video like this. On this particular video, please give us a thumbs up so that it can be recommended to more viewers and help us share our videos. Allow me to thank you in a very special way. If you are our regular viewers, you are our subscribers, and you are supporting this channel in one way or the other. May God bless you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto has been trying to ensure that he achieves the 2/3 gender rule. And this is something that he promised even before his masters. He went to Chatham House. That is where they usually go whenever they want to contest for presidency. And I wonder why African presidents should go to Chatham House. And he declared and explained the kind of government that he wants to constitute. And he said that he would ensure that they achieve the 2/3 gender rule. Kindly listen to him.
My suggestions are as follows. First, the national government should be reconfigured to comprise the national executive headed by the president and the official opposition headed by the leader of the party or coalition of parties whose presidential candidate wins the second highest votes. That is good for accountability. And secondly, it removes or mitigates the winner-take-all perception. The leader of the party which becomes second becomes the leader of the opposition, and with his or her running mate automatically becomes members of parliament and assume the leadership of official opposition. This formula should apply at the county level as well. I further propose that with the leader of opposition taking leadership of the opposition in parliament, the deputy president should then take over the leadership of government business in parliament. This should be replicated at the county level by deputy governors. The Senate, we must make a decision to make the Senate the upper house. Fourthly, we must resolve once and for all the mechanism for the attainment of the 2/3 gender rule. We must apply ourselves to it, we must deal with it, and we must overcome it. We must resolve once and for all the mechanism for the attainment of the 2/3 gender rule. We must apply ourselves to it, we must deal with it, and we must overcome it.
Now, listening to William Ruto, and you understand that William Ruto has been trying to borrow very heavily from the Western masters. He knows very well that Joe Biden has a deputy, Kamala Harris, and he also wants to ensure that he fits into the shoes because he is a copycat. He's actually doing everything that the West would want him to do. So he cannot make that commitment and consult Rigathi Gachagua, then maybe go with Rigathi Gachagua in 2027. Then if Rigathi Gachagua will take over in 2032, then Rigathi Gachagua executes the two-thirds gender rule and make a woman a running mate. That would not go well with William Ruto. He wants to ensure that this is achieved in his term, so that it is said it is William Ruto who had the first deputy president, if at all he will win. Remember, in 2022, William Ruto was under pressure because Raila had nominated Martha Karua as the running mate, and women fell in love with Raila's political ideologies just because of that. Had it not been for 1, 2, 3 things that did go well, I believe they really voted for Raila because of Martha Karua, because that was the true and honest way of telling women and ladies of this country that he likes them. William Ruto made a lot of promises. So William Ruto would ensure that whatever he promised, and the way he's trying to emulate what is happening in the US, he wants to ensure that he has a running mate who is a lady. And this should worry Rigathi Gachagua, because he will ensure that this happens in 2027. Number two, this process that he has started will scuttle the idea of Rigathi Gachagua in trying to unite Mount Kenya around him. Why am I saying this? People like Anne Waiguru, do you think, having said this in this forum today, do you think Anne Waiguru would align to Rigathi Gachagua, who wants people to rally behind him so that they can support Rigathi Gachagua in 2032? Anne Waiguru would want to ensure that she stands independent, so that come 2027, because William Ruto has alluded to some fact that he might pick a woman running mate, she will not follow Rigathi Gachagua. She will also try to rally people behind her to ensure that come 2027, she becomes one of the running mates. And so this idea that Rigathi Gachagua wants to unite Mount Kenya is going to be thwarted, because people like Scuttling Gachagua, all women, governors and women potential leaders will not follow Rigathi Gachagua. And William Ruto is very clever enough to ensure that by doing this call for unity behind Rigathi Gachagua will be nullified. It will also mitigate the scramble for power in Mount Kenya. Remember, William Ruto played around with people like Ndindi Nyoro, telling him that you will be the running mate, because Ndindi Nyoro understands that Rigathi Gachagua was not even the first choice. It is indicated that when people voted to give William Ruto a running mate, it was Kithure Kindiki, the very sharp lawyer, who was nominated. Now, come 2027, many experts believe that Ndindi Nyoro, because there are people who have declared that it's now the turn for Murang'a, that Nyeri has had their day, Kiambu has had their day, so there have been talks about Murang'a. And Ruto understands that come 2027, Kithure Kindiki will just come up, because there are people who will say, we want our position. It was Kithure who was nominated. So Kithure, Rigathi Gachagua, Ndindi Nyoro, people like Kimani Chungwa could also be in the mix, and Moses Kuria, because they come from Kiambu. They will claim that Uhuru was from Kiambu, but he never did anything to them, because they've always said that. For William Ruto to cure this disease, she will opt to take a woman candidate. If he decides to take, for example, Cecil Mbarire, or maybe Anne Waiguru, or the independent candidate in Meru, Kawira Mwangaza, then people will be very quiet, because that will be a neutral kind of candidate when you talk of gender, because both all Kithure, Kindiki, Kimani, Gachagua, all those are men. So this will be a way of killing that scramble, and if he does that, women will be very happy. What he has also done is that he has set Rigathi Gachagua against the women. You see, by saying this in front of all women in camera, and it is recorded, and he's saying that we are going to talk to Rigathi Gachagua so that we see that in future. Which future is he talking about? Like I said, he does not want this to happen in Rigathi's, term. He wants to ensure that this happens in his term, and I think he really shocked Rigathi Gachagua by saying this. So moving forward, if this is going to meet obstacles, people are going to say it is Rigathi Gachagua, because it is Rigathi who has declared that he wants to inherit that power, and he believes that in 2027 he will still deputize William Ruto. And William Ruto has been scheming. He's been sending a message, a coded message. So this time round, it is Rigathi Gachagua has been set against the women. And they will start saying that, Rigathi does not like women, Rigathi undermines women. And this is very, very bad for Rigathi Gachagua. And let me tell you the catch. Other Kenya Kwanza brigade will support this. Take, for example, Musalia Mudavadi. Musalia is very quiet, and he knows that he is waiting for William Ruto to do his 2 terms, then he will get into the race. Now, for if this is brought to them, people like Wetangula and even Githure Kindiki, they might just decide to support William Ruto because they know very well that William Ruto will be completing his last term, and they will support a woman candidate just to ensure that maybe they punish Rigathi Gachagua, because Rigathi, if you look at him, they don't see eye to eye with Ndindi Nyoro. They don't read from the same page with Musalia Mudavadi. And by this declaration, Rigathi Gachagua must be worried, because if this is brought to the board, to the decision making, the highest decision making table in Kenya Kwanza, they will go vote. They will go for it. It is only Gachagua who knows very well that if this happens, then his chances of becoming a president in 32 will be gone, because if he's not picked in 2027, that will be it will have a doomsday for him. So, ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto made this declaration very deliberately, and Rigathi Gachagua should be worried. And that is my take.